Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure you go check out the week 3 Vegas spreads. We're making more money than anyone on the internet, and we have receipts to prove it. Now let's get to the over-unders. The first game of the week is Las Vegas at New England. The over-under is 47.5. I'm going under here, and a lot of people like to bash this Raiders defense, but you want to know what? They bring their heart at. They come. They play very, very physical, and I think they'll be able to manage this New England offense. And when you look at this New England offense, I love watching Cam Newton. I love watching the symbiosis between him and McDaniels and this new look Patriot offense. But where are the weapons? Has this running game developed? Is this offensive line as good as it was 2 or 3 years ago for the Patriots? I don't think so. So I don't think Cam has enough weapons to fully turn this into a shootout. And then when you look at the Raiders, I think of a big offensive line and Josh Jacobs, that bull running forward and burning clock. This is a close game, and sometimes close games, they escalate from points scored in the fourth quarter. But I think this stays close and stays low scoring. Go under here. Next game, we got the LA Rams at the Buffalo Bills. The over-under is 46.5. And I'm going to go with a surprising over here. I think both offenses get it moving. I think the Rams are going to run the ball better than people think, but the Bills will also make big plays on offense. Plus, when you have Goff and Josh Allen in a very competitive game, yes, you're going to get some good plays. Both are playing pretty decent football at the moment, but one thing you're also going to get is fumbles and turnovers. Those add the points. Those create situations, bad situations for defense. This is going to go over. Next game, we got the Houston Texans, a.k.a. the most boring team in the league. No disrespect to Deshaun Watson, at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Over under 45. I think this goes over, and I think it's because Big Ben's brilliant, but Deshaun Watson, this man just comes to fight, and he's able to create points out of nothing. The scheme of Bill O'Brien isn't too good. I'm watching Brandon Cooks, and I'm saying, damn, why do you people think he's fucking good? I don't get it. I think this somehow goes over. Not a lot of science here. Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers at the New York Giants. The over-under is 41.5. I'm going under. I'm pretty damn sure about it. No Saquon for the Giants. San Fran's going to have a backup quarterback, too. I think San Fran will move the ball. I think they'll put up more points than the Giants. But I see this being like a 17-10 game. Maybe even like 13-10 with San Fran just grinding this out, running the football. The Giants can't stop the run, though. San Fran can put up like 28 points. So be careful with this one, but I'm going under. Next game, we have the Tennessee Titans at the Minnesota Vikings. The over-under is 49.5. I'm going to go under here. I think Vegas is anticipating this is a close game and that it turns into a shootout in the fourth quarter, but I don't see it that way. I think Tennessee controls this game. I think they run the ball all over the Minnesota Vikings, and this front seven of Minnesota just simply can't stop the run anymore. There's no fancy words to use analysis for it. They just can't stop the run. A lot of it is grit and toughness, but also because they lost 6 starters on defense from last year. And then another reason why this is going under is because Kirk Cousins. Watch his performances. I'm so sick of talking about this man, what he's done to my team, the Minnesota Vikings. But go watch his first 2 performances of the year, and you tell me this is going to go over. It's going under. Next game, we got the Washington football team at the Cleveland Browns. The over-under is 45. Yeah, this is one I went back and forth on, but I got this going over, and there isn't a lot of science. I have Washington controlling this game defensively, but I think Washington creates turnovers, which will lead to points, and I think Cleveland will be able to put a few good drives together. I could see Cleveland putting up 21 points in this game and Washington doing the rest. Next game, we got Cincy at Philadelphia, over under 47. I'm going under here because both offenses have been inconsistent, and we know both defenses have their problems, but both of these teams have focus problems. They haven't put in a full, dedicated 4 quarters yet. And when I look at Philadelphia, I look at an offense that's struggling, and it almost seems like they don't have an identity. Without that power run game, Carson Wentz is just an average dude out there. Joe Burrow provides a little bit of magic, but are there enough weapons for him to really put the NFL on a magic spell when he plays the Eagles? I don't think so. I'm going under. Next game, we have the Bears at the Atlanta Falcons, over under 47.5, and I have it going over. I think Chicago's defense shows up and does decent against a bad Atlanta defense, but I think this Atlanta offense rules the day. And yes, there's Khalil Mack. Yes, there's real game changers on that Chicago defense, but that Chicago defense isn't what it was, and I think Atlanta will have plenty of opportunities. Mitch Trubisky, he is a fraud, and yes, he will show flashes, but at the end of the day, Mitch is going to give you turnovers. He's going to give you a lot of 3 and outs, and sure, he might pull off a 3rd and 15 scramble like every once in a while, like one of my subscribers said. But at the end of the day, Mitch is Mitch. Mitch is below average. I think Atlanta puts up the bulk of the points in this game, but Chicago could add some garbage points and also keep it competitive for the first 3 quarters. So go over. Next game, we got the Jets at the Indianapolis Colts, over under 44. I'm going under because I don't count on the Jets to show up. I mean, a lot of people are probably going to bet over here, but I just can't bet on the Jets to show up. So what? Indy could put up 28 points. This Jets team could easily only put up 10. I mean, that's just a situation that Jets fans and this organization find themselves in at this point. Next game, we have the Carolina Panthers at the LA Chargers, over under 43.5. I think this gets to over. I think Carolina's offense will struggle a little bit without Christian McCaffrey, but I think they'll be able to generate some points. Plus, I think the Chargers will be able to generate points with the young upstart Herbert. I'm really excited to watch Herbert play. I think there's going to be a few explosive plays. We saw him hit some explosive plays against a disciplined Chiefs defense, so why not against a young, hungry, but delusional Carolina defense with not much talent? Next game, we have the Detroit Lions at the Arizona Cardinals, over under 55.5. And I'm going under here. It's just barely under, and I think both offenses will be productive, but I think one aspect of the Cardinals no one's talking enough about is this defense. This defense doesn't have huge name. I mean, we know it has Chandler Jones, but let's be honest, no one really knows much about this Arizona defense. But this Arizona defense is much improved, and they might have improved more than their offense did. So I think this defense has a very, very big second half against a Detroit team that folds. And yes, this Detroit team is weak on defense, but I do think they'll be competitive in moments of this game. That's why I'm going over. That's why I'm going under. Excuse me. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Denver Broncos, over under 43.5. I'm going over. I think Tom Brady puts up a good 28 points this game, and I think Denver's here to fight. Even with a backup quarterback, Denver will put up points. I've been telling you guys, Drew Lock was not the franchise quarterback. He's no superstar. He's no top 15 quarterback in this league. I tried telling you guys, so I don't think that drop-off from first to second string will be all that big a difference for Denver. I know some people are like, oh, it's going under because no Lock. Come on, Lock ain't that good, man. Next game, let's go with Dallas. Big D at the Seattle Seahawks, over under 57. I'm going to go over here, and this is an awful high point spread, but I just think the Seattle offense is potent. This Dallas offense, they look to be getting some rhythm, but we have to keep in mind it is against Atlanta. But Seattle's got a weak defense as well. You can exploit Seattle, but you need to throw deep against them. You really need to attack them down the field. Is Dak Prescott and Dallas ready to do that? That is the only question about this going over. If Dallas can make some plays down the field, it's going to open up everything. And then if that happens, this will go over. Next game, we have the Green Bay Packers at the New Orleans Saints, over under 52.5. It's going under, and I'm pretty sure about this. Listen, New Orleans has a lot of flash. You got Drew Brees. Michael Thomas isn't going to play, but there's just a lot of flash. Kamara is that Ferrari. Yes, you expect a lot of points, but people forget that the Saints are a gritty team that likes to run the ball, and they use different formations. They like controlling the time of possession, but also this New Orleans defense is physical as fuck, and they're not going to be pushed around. Green Bay's offensive line, as surprising as it is to say it, they've been pushing people around so far this year. I don't think Green Bay gets this running game going against the Saints, and I think Aaron the Game Rodgers will make plays, but not that many plays. This is going to be like a 24-20 game. This ain't going over, guys. Next game and final game, the Kansas City Chiefs, the champs, at the Baltimore Ravens, over under 54. I'm going over. Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes. I'm not going to say any more. Subscribe, hit the like button, share the videos. We are the best gambling show on the internet. Let's keep getting this money. Hit the like button. And also, one more thing, turn on those notifications. Turn on those notifications.